Hi everyone, Lucie here with the latest Christmas album for the Scrapbook Cottage. I've named this one Photoplay Christmas Junque 8x8 album because it is with the 8x8 or the Christmas junk paper. Now I've misspelled junk as jank, so it should say J-U-N, junk 8x8 album. So I'll start out just by going through it quickly and just to show you what it's going to look like at the end. You could always go back and check it out. First page I've made is divided diagonally in two. So we flip it open like that. And it has a pocket here. Put pictures here if you wish, and it closes up with two magnets here. First page, we have a pocket here. Get my. All I did was take the extra paper and I just made some folios with, or some photo mats with it. Opens up this way to give you two 4x6s, one in the middle here, and it opens up like this as well. And of course, each page or each page has an insert where you can put more pictures, and it just slides into here like this. Okay. On page, what are we on? Page 2, we have a flip going this way and a pocket down here. Page 3, instead of doing magnets, I chose to put this photo pocket, this photo mat to close it, to keep it closed. So we remove that, we open it up. We have room for pictures on each side, room for pictures here, and when we open it up, it springs up so that you can put four smaller pictures in there, and one at the bottom if you wish. So we close it up. The next page has all these flaps. So you get you put lots of pictures on here. Now one of these has a magnet. Just not sure which one now. Okay, this one. So we'll close these up, close this up. I think it goes like this. You just have to remember where you put your magnet. Next page, I did just two little pockets here. And then one bigger pocket here. Okay. We turn the page and we have a waterfall. Not the usual waterfalls that I make, but let's pull this and you're going to see that it opens up like that. Now you can put pictures on this side only, or you can put them on this side as well. So you can get lots of pictures with this waterfall. Next page, I tried to do something a little different again. And you see where you can put two pictures here. I've got a pull tab here, and you can open it up. Now, you could put pictures on the back here too. You could put a picture here. Okay, so lots of opportunity for pictures. Oh, and again, you know, the insert. Next one is a belly band. Okay. And in that belly band, I just made little photo booklets. On the inside cover, I have a flap going this way, and then this opens up for more pictures yet. So that's the album. So let's get started. You're going to notice, if you looked at it in the store, that I made my cover a little bit differently. I made what they call this a lay flat album. So what they mean by that is everything lays flat, and there's nothing restricting it, so that the front and back covers just lay flat. And that's what we're going to do for this book. Something a little different than what you're used to from me. Okay, so let's start with our cover. And if you've looked through your pile of papers, you will have found 2 8x8 chipboards and a spine. I've already put suquang on these just to make it a little bit quicker, because you know how to put the suquang down, I'm sure. Don't need me. And we're going to look for our cover pages. Now, let's see, mine is not in order by looks of it. Is page 2. Oh boy. I should have looked at this before I started, huh? We'll find it. Okay. This looks like it might be one. Here we go. I had it at the bottom. They'll be labeled album cover. Okay. And that one says spine. So we've got the spine there too. Okay. So what we're going to start by doing is we're going to take one piece and we are going to score it at 1 inch all the way around. That's just going to make sure that we have, when we go to put our chipboard on it, that we're right even. Now, if you don't need to do this step, by all means, you know, go ahead and not do it, and get back to us when we're on our step 2. Okay, so I'm going to find my, here it is. Okay, so I'm just going to go 1, 1, 1, and 1. I'm going to do the same with the other one. Okay. We are ready to put our chipboard onto our cardstock. So if you want to be really precise, it's square, so there's no problem there. If you want to be really precise, you take only the back off one corner, put your other corners down. Oh, just a minute. It is not square. At least my piece of paper isn't. Here we go. Now let me just check this. Okay, this is 9 by 8.5. Aha! So my instructions, the the title should be 8.5 by 9 album. Sorry about that. So make sure that you've got these down at the right place. Okay, so got that one down. I'm just gonna pull this out, and it just pulls out easily. Okay. We're gonna do the same with the other one. The advantage of only taking a corner off is that you can match up your other corners, and then that one that you've taken off will go down in the right place. So we pull this off. Okay. All right, now we want to bend this over so that we have nice even sides. And what I like to do is just simply bend it over. That way I'm sure I have it exactly along the edge of my chipboard. Okay. I'm going to find my miter tool. If you make a lot of albums and you don't have this tool, I suggest that you get it. It's not expensive, and it just makes your life so much easier. So you put it onto the corner like this, and you take your pencil and you make a line. That is where you're going to cut that piece off. You do that on all 4 corners. Got a bit of glue there, or yeah, glue from the tape. I want to make sure that my tool is right against my chipboard, not farther away. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to make a cut along there. Let's do both of them at the same time. We're going to do the same thing. This little tool makes life so much easier. You don't have to guess. I used to get a piece of leftover chipboard and put it against and hope that it was the right width. With this, you know it is. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our tape, and I'm going to take my 9.5, which is my staple tape, and I'm going to put it along the chipboard. Here it is. Put it along the chipboard and along the outside of my cardstock. sure that it's nicely stuck on here. And we'll do the same with the other one. And along our cardstock. There we go. Okay, so we're going to, what you can do, I try to remember to do it, I don't always remember, is put a bead of glue right along the edge here. Just a very small bead of glue. Let me try that again. Here we go. Just so that you're making sure that your cardstock is up nicely against your chipboard. Come on, there we go. Remove these. And as I say, I like to fold like this, that way I'm sure. Okay, and I'm going to go across and do the same thing. Just a nice bead of glue. And down. Now, on these ones, if I was to just fold over, see how you've got a little piece sticking out there. What we're going to do is we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to push that in. It's just, you know, be a little careful. It is paper, but it does, we're breaking down the fibers and pushing that in. Okay, another bead of glue. And now our corners are very nice. So we're going to do that again here. And here. Our bead of glue. And there we go. We have our one cover done. Okay, so the next one, we do the same steps. So put our bead of glue. Fold. opposite to that side. And our bead of glue. I didn't, okay. I think we're having trouble. Here we go. Fold over. And push these corners in. Our bead of glue. Close this one onto that. Let's see if I can get it on this side. Come on. There we go. We're going to fold. And we have our last side done. There. Now we're going to do our spine. And for our spine, we are going to make sure we leave an inch top and bottom. So I'm going to just go 1 inch, and it's 10.5, so I'm going to go at 9.5, and it is 6 inches. So if I put it at 2 and 4, so I'm going to make my other one at 2 and at 4. It gives me this much room on each side. Okay. We're going to put this onto our cardstock. And if we're not sure of ourselves, we'll start by doing it at the bottom and then going to the top. Okay. We're going to fold this over and fold this over. Okay. And we are going to put tape along, let me stop and think here, because we're going to put this up here against here. So we're not going to put tape here. We're going to put tape on the 2 ends. Here's my tape on the 2 ends here. So here, whoop, that didn't work very well. And here, and here, just on that 2 inch there. There we go. I'm just going to cut this extra piece of tape that I have here. And it went down, so I guess I'll just leave it. Oh, I can take it off. Okay. All right. So we're going to, I haven't done this a lot, so I'm trying to go back to my memory here. Just going to take these off. And this is going to go on here. So we're going to, I'm just going to miter it at an angle, or cut it at an angle. Okay. And I'm going to put that bead of glue here again. Let's see here. Okay, so this is nice and, okay, we're going to have to, I think I have to cut that off again. I'm going to cut this. We don't need it. Yep, our bead of glue. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut this off. There. There we go. So we're just gonna cut whatever we see there. Okay, I think I'm done with my glue for now. So just so I don't forget it or lose it. Okay, so now we have our spine. And we have our two covers. What we're going to do is we are going to sorry about that. There we go. I'm going to put my album, okay, so it's going to be 9.5 this way. Let me just check where'd my album go. Here it is. Yes, it's longer than it is. Yeah, so it's 9 this way. So I'm going to take, okay, we're going to go like this. Okay, so I'm going to go, what we have to do is we have to put tape on here because we're going to tape it to our cover. Okay, and you know what, I made a mistake. Let's cut this off. We really don't need it. So if you're following along with me, you're going to have to cut these little guys off because I'd forgotten we really don't need them. If you're not following, you're just watching, then you've got, you know that you're not going to do this. There we go. Okay. So let's put tape on here. Could use wider tape, which I have. Should have taken it out. Let's just put one in the middle. You can do that on both sides. If this is your first album, you're going to find out that I Swear by Suquang, the double-sided tape. I just find it. I've had books in the store for, oh, I don't know, 6, 7 years, and they haven't come apart. And I think it's because of the swang. Okay, so this is, did I put it on the wrong side? Oh, Lucie. Yeah, should have gone on this side. Because, yeah, because it should go this way. Okay, well. Yep. Yep, so sorry, everybody. Here we go again. We're going to put tape. It won't matter. This tape will all get covered up. So it's just I've wasted tape. I hope you weren't following along and you were watching. There we go. I shouldn't try to talk while I while I work. There we go. Okay. And I see where I'm going to have to just miter these a tad. Just a tad. All right, now we're set. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put our tape. You can do it this way, whatever way feels comfortable for you. But just to make sure that we are straight, we're going to. You're going to leave an 1/8 of an inch. I don't know, can you see that? That I've left just an 1/8 of an inch. Haven't gone right against it, but just a little bit. You're going to see in the book that's how I did it. Okay. So we're going to take this off. And if you want to give yourself a little bit more time, here's a trick you can do. Take your wet glue and put wet glue all over your tape. This is going to give you a little bit of wiggle time. Okay, if you're not perfect the first time, you'll have room to wiggle. Okay. Okay. Now, this does not need to be here, right? And we're going to do the same with our other one. Okay, and we're going to put a little bit of glue. Doesn't affect the tape, doesn't affect the glue. It just simply gives you time to put it on perfectly. Well, there. Okay. So, make sure it's going the same way, right? Okay, so now we're going to Again, you don't have to use your scoreboard, but I find just, see, I went down a little, not quite at the right place, so I was able to pull it up. Let's see here, a little bit over. Just, come on. Just gonna make sure. Okay, I like that. Okay, I'm gonna. There we go. Okay, so it's all right. We now have our covers done. Let's see. Okay, let's do our hinge now. So if you look for your hinge, obviously mine was not in the right way, so I'm going to have to search to find my hinge. There it is. Okay. So you're going to put your hinge piece so that it's 12 along the top. Okay. So we're going to score first at 2 1/8, at 2 1/2, 2 3/4, 3 1/4, 3 3/4, 4, 4 3/8. Hoping you can see that. Yep. 4 3/8, 4 5/8, 5 1/8, 5 5/8, 5 7/8, 6 1/4, 6 1/2, 7, 7 1/2, 7 3/4, 8 1/8, 8 3/8, 8 7/8, 9 3/8, and 10. Okay. 9 3/8. Sorry, 9 5/8. I missed one. 9 5/8 and 10. Yes. All right. Now what I find easiest, so I don't make any mistakes, is I number each section. Okay. So starting with the 2 1/8 here, it's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Whoop, okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to attach tape to number 3 and 4. Yeah, okay. We're going to attach tape to 3 and 4, 8 and 9, 13 and 14, and 18 and 19. Okay, So for the 3, you're going to have to use a little bit narrower than your 9 and 5/8. Let me see here. Yeah, I think I'm going to need I'm going to use my 7, I think is going to work. Let's see. Nope, 7's too big as well. Okay, so we're going to use our 5. Okay, so on the 3, I'm going to put 5mm tape. I'm just going to keep going. On my 8, I'm going to use 5mm tape. So on all of the smaller pieces, smaller sections, the 13, and the 18. Okay. Golly, I'm having trouble today. There we go. And on the others, I will use my 9.5. There we go. So on the 9, let's try that again. 9. On the 14. On the 19. Okay. So we're going to burnish. If you're new to this, burnishing simply means taking your bone folder and running it over. Make sure that the glue has set really well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our 3 and 4 and we're going to glue them onto 5 and 6. Okay, so all we really need to do is fold it over once. I'm just gonna burnish all of my, okay, just gonna do the same with 5 here. Okay, so we're gonna put these 2 onto these 2. So we're gonna take our tape off. And we're just going to fold it. Just make sure that we're folding it right though. 4 onto 5. There we go. And there. So you see 1 and 2, but you don't see 3, 4, 5, and 6 anymore. So we're going to fold and burnish the next one, which is 7. And okay, we're now going to take and we're going to put 8 and 9 onto 10 and 11. And what we're doing is we're making our hinges. Okay, so again, make sure you're putting it on the right numbers. Okay. So if you flip it over, we now have 2 hinges. Okay. All right. So now we have number 12. It's going to stay put. We're not doing anything to it. But then we have 13. We're going to fold. Gets kind of not difficult, but a little bit trickier to fold. Okay. And the next one. I'm going to do 15 as well, just so that, there we go. All right, so we're going to take the tape off of 13 and 14, and we're going to put 14 onto 15. You got to make sure that you have the right one. Okay. So it's looking like this so far. And on the back side, looks like this. Okay. We have one more hinge to make. So we're going to fold 17. And then we're going to fold 18. Might be easier to go from the other side. 19. And 20. Okay, now we're going to put 18, 19 onto 20 and 21. Okay, so, and again, you might find it easier to go from the other side. So you're going to put 20 and 21 onto 19 and 18. If you're going to go from this side, doesn't matter, as long as they get glued together. That's what's important. Okay, so just going to pull this over. And on this side, you have 1, 2, 7, 12, 17, 22, and 23. And on the back side, you have 4 hinges. And we want to make sure that they move back and forth, because that's what's going to happen in the book, right? You're going to move back and forth for us. Okay? So you're going to notice that we have a larger one and a smaller one. That's because we're only going to put our pages up to the score line on our large one. We're going to leave our shorter one alone, because what that'll do is our pages are going to lay flatter. Okay, otherwise our pages would want to stay kind of standing up. So what you may want to do right now is fold onto that line in between. Okay, just so that you're going to be doing it anyways at some point. So, and it's a little stiff, right? They haven't been played with yet. So you want to, okay. All right. Now we want to put our 9.5 tape on each side of the hinge. So only from the edge to that score line, okay? Not past it. Only from the score line here to the edge. on each side of every hinge. So it's going to look like this. And on the other side, this, you know, constructing the main part of the album is the longest I find, and maybe the most tedious, but like building a house, you got to have it. Okay, so see how it's just on the larger side. Okay, we're going to do that on all of them. And again, I've seen some album makers who use glue here. I don't know, I just don't feel comfortable using glue. I've always used tape, and I have never had any trouble, any falling apart albums, so I'm just going to keep going with what I find is best. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we are going to miter just ever so slightly. Okay, so I did, where did it go? Here it is. See how little I took off? But that's just going to allow us to put our pages on. It's just, the pages are going to slide on more easily. So just that piece that you put tape on, not the other piece, just the 9.5 piece that you taped. And you're going to do that on both sides. Just above the score line. Don't go onto the score line. Okay. There. Got lots of itty bitty pieces here. Okay. All right, we have our hinge ready to go. We are going to fully cover this side with sequin. Now, I have a larger piece. You could also use a flat piece, your pages. I have this bigger one, so I'm just going to use it. But you should cover the whole thing, okay? So, okay, now let's see. I've got 12 here, so let's use 12. And I have every size here because I've been doing them for so long, but it's not necessary for everybody to do that. If you make a lot of albums, yes. Okay, so you want to make sure that you burnish this really well. Okay. I'm going to come over on this side. I'm going to burnish in between here as well. There we go. Okay. Just going to clean this up a bit here. Make sure I don't have any glue or tape sticking out. There we go. Okay, so now we are going to take our album and we are going to set this here. Now remember how I said I put this on the wrong side? Well, we're going to have it double taped now. It's going to be like really good. Now, if you're a little anxious about this new way of doing it and you're a little nervous, what you could do also to make it doubly strong is take a piece of Tyvek. Now, Tyvek is simply what a lot of offices use for their envelopes. You can't rip this. And it's also what construction workers use, carpenters use to wrap our houses with. So what you could do is put a piece of Tyvek in here. But let's just do it. I'm going to cut a piece that's about like that. So what is that? Where did my ruler go? Oh, I spend more of my time looking for things sometimes than I do actually working. Okay. That's pointless. So a piece that's 6 inches by 8 1/4. Okay. So 6. And it doesn't have to be exact, right? Because nobody's going to see this. Just like nobody sees the Tyvek around your house. Okay, by, said 8 1/2, I believe. Okay, or 8 1/4. I think it was 8 1/4. Okay. So I'm just going to put this here. Maybe I'll cut it a little bit straighter. I've tried to cut it with my cutting board, and unless your blade is really, really, really sharp, it won't cut it. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here. This will strengthen. Okay, and I've got all of this already. I'm just going to put a couple of strips through here and we'll be ready to put our Tyvek down. I'm just going to put a couple of pieces here. Up. Okay. So let's pull all these off. So sometimes you make a mistake and it works out in the end. It wasn't really there for no reason now. Okay. So we're just going to go like so. And, you know, yep, we're stuck. Doesn't matter if it doesn't look good from out here. It's there to strengthen, okay? Nobody's gonna see this. Okay, now we're gonna put our, we did put our Tyvek a little bit too far down. So let's see if we can pull it up a bit. Yeah, there we go. We don't want it to be seen, right, by underneath our hinge. So we're just going to cut that off a bit. We're going to have to take our tape off too. The tape just kind of rolls. You can just roll it with your finger. It just kind of will roll up like that. You could also use undo, but it's rolling nicely. Now, we're going to put it there. Okay, we have to roll up our glue up here. So don't go too far over, too far up. There we go. Okay, I think we're ready to roll here. So we're going to want to make sure that we have this nicely centered in the middle. Okay, I guess there is a way you could measure. I'm an eyeballer. I usually just go, yep, looks good. Let's do it. But if you really want to be careful, I'm thinking this should go like to here, and on this side to here, and at the top to there, and here. Okay. I'm seeing a little bit of glue here. I just want to get it off. Better to take it off before you put it on. Okay. We're going to So if you have measured or you've decided by eyeballing that you also want to center it up and down, right? So I'm kind of making sure I don't really like where I had thought I was going to put it. Okay, I got a little bit. I'm going to go with it. That's not where I thought it would be, but I think my eyeball was seeing better. Okay. Don't worry about seeing all of this. You're going to be covering it with paper. Okay. We want to score in or burnishing through here. And in through there. There, we have the main part of our book ready to roll. Okay. And you'll decide what you want for a front and back. All done. Okay. At the top of my pile, I had base page 1. Did I just mess up? Just gonna, there. Yeah, we don't want base page 1. We want, I think mine must have got flipped upside down or something. Anyways, we want, now I'm really making a mess. Base page 1, base page 2. Okay, inside front cover, inside front cover. Okay, those we need. All right, let's start with them since, okay. So we're gonna take the bigger piece and we're going to score it. Now when I say score on 9 1/4, I mean the 9 1/4 is at the top. Okay, so score on 9 1/4, and at 1/2, and 8 3/4. Okay, 1/2 and 8 3/4. That's where we're scoring. And then we are going to cut that diagonally. So I'm going to take our let's fold our 1/2 inches in first of all. Okay, fold them in, and we're going to go diagonally from this corner to the bottom corner. Okay, so that corner to this corner. Let's just make sure we're there. Okay, so we're gonna just cut that in 1/2. Okay. It doesn't matter which way you cut it. It maybe you want to cut it from there to there. It doesn't matter. It's still going to be diagonal, right? So we're going to tape. We're going to use our 9.5 tape, and you're going to see throughout the instructions: tape, fold, miter, burnish. You're going to see those over and over again because we do that pretty much for everything. Okay, so we're taping along the 1/2 inch that we scored, right? Okay, and we're going to miter. Now, mitering simply means, if you're new, simply means taking this not on the score line, but just off the score line and cutting a little bit off like that. Okay, it just, oh, and this one you're going to have to cut quite a bit more because, look, because of our, there we go. Okay. So we're going to miter this piece. I have lots of tape here. Okay. And, oh, we don't need to miter because see how it doesn't show up at all. Okay. We're going to take our album, and you've decided which is the front and which is the back. I've decided this is my front, so I'm going to put these along here. Did I do something wrong? Hold on. No, I didn't. Whew. That wouldn't have been good to start with. Okay.
Okay, so the way I cut this time, I'm going to be I'm going to have my diagonal different than what the one is that's going to be at the store. So you're going to put one on the left hand side and the other one on the right hand side. So they're going to look like this. Okay. One on the left, one on the right. So we're going to do that now. Now we want to put it about, what did I put it? About quarter of an inch from the edge. From this edge. Okay. And we'll put the other one the same way on the other side. Whoa! Nothing like throwing things around. Okay, now to make sure that this closes nicely, I am going to put it on here as if it's stuck, okay? And that way, Lordy. Okay, so that's good. I could have put it up a little bit higher. I'm kind of right at the bottom here, but I don't think that'll matter. Okay, so those are there. Okay, so now this is where we're going to put our magnets. We're going to put a magnet up here. So you're going to put a magnet on the other side, right here and right here. So you'll put it on this side and over here. On this side and over here. Okay, so it closes like this. All right, we have our other piece that said inside front cover. Where are you? Here you are. Okay, and that one is going to go in here. And we're not going to do any scoring on this one, which we usually would for a pocket. But all we're going to do is we're going to take the 5mm tape and we're going to put it around 3 sides. So we're going to tape it along the short edge here, the bottom, and the short edge here. Okay. And we will take those off. And it's going to go put my tape a little bit too far off. All you do is just roll it in. I'm going to set this one right in the middle here between my 2 pieces and about there. Okay. So when you're going to finish off your album with your pattern paper, you can just slide the pattern paper in here. It'll just slide in. You don't have to go very far down, right? Because you don't need to waste it in through here. Okay, so our front cover, inside front cover is all done. All right, I can set this aside again. Okay, page 1. I had it. Where did I put it? These are my inserts. Okay, let's see. It's really much better when I'm organized. Okay, here's base page 1. All right. So these must be all my base pages. Okay, base page 1, 8 by 11. All right. So on the 11-inch side, okay, this is not 8 by 11. Let's see here. Those are page inserts. Page 2. Yeah. Okay, this is it, my A piece. Now that's better, 8 by 11. So we're going to score it at a 1/2 inch and at 6.5. Okay. And we're going to tape, fold, burnish, miter. So we start by taping, and we're going to tape this 1/2 inch piece. Go. I'm going to tape there. We're going to fold. We're going to burnish. We're going to miter. Okay. And we're going to pull this one this way. And we're not going to do any taping or anything here. We're just simply going to, okay. So now we're going to put this one on pocket page 1. Okay, it would have been good if we had done pocket page 1 first, hey? Really? Okay. There's page 2. It might be that I left mine to be the one that wasn't quite finished, because okay, there's B that I need. Okay, so let's do our B piece. We're not going to score it at all. We're just simply, again, going to add our 5mm tape to close up the pocket part. So we're going to do this. And this. doing it on 3 sides. Okay. Come on. Okay. Now we've got our piece A that we did. We're going to make a pocket here. So on our smaller piece, we're going to pocket it so that it opens right here. Okay. So I'm just going to open it because it seems like that's what it wants to do. And there. Okay, so we have our pocket here. All right, so that's done. We'll set it aside. Let's take a look at C for page 2. We're going to take, and on the 4 1/4, 4 1/4 on top, we are going to score at a 1/2 inch. Okay. Tape, fold, burnish. So let's tape. Whoop, that wasn't. There we go. We're going to fold, burnish, and we're going to miter. Okay. And we have another piece that's D. We're going to put 5mm tape along it. To close it up. Again, we're not going to bother scoring and taping. We're just going to use this. And we're making a pocket, right? Okay, so we're not, we can't put it to our page yet until we've put our paper down, probably. You could, but because we don't have any give here, you might want to wait. So I think I will come back in a second tape or a second video to finish it off. I'm just gonna clean up my space here and make it so that we're in alphabetical order properly, and I'm not having to search for you and waste your time. So I'm just going to say, I'm not going to say goodbye. I'm going to say see you in a bit in the next video.